New Gen Gamers.
Oh, as they disintegrate, I wasn't sure what was going on. As they disappear into nothingness and return to the great void of unknowing. I'm not sure where destroyed computer programs go. They go to my recycling bin. But
yeah, usually
yes,
mine just end up.
Thank you. That was a horrible pun joke. That was terrible.
In my recycling bin.
Yeah. Anyhow, so this is the Tron Deadly Disc, as I said before, and I think we've seen about pretty much all this game has to offer.
Oh.
So I think we're going to move on and say goodbye to Tron for the Intellivision.
Where do programs go before the recycle bin?
This is the true question of life, I believe.
There was no recycle bin back then. Where did they go? Just gone forever?
Pretty much.
That's so sad.
Moving on.
Time for some Pitfall. This is an Activision game, and Activision at the time was a hot young independent developer and publisher that of developers that had left Atari and started their own company. So this was a very original home title. It was made exclusively for the home market and heavily featured on the Atari 2600, but looks great on the Intellivision here.
Yeah, it's one of the better looking versions of the game, to be honest. I don't think I've seen too many that, look any better than this one.
And our
nice, Doug.
And our Atari our Intellivision running man with his 3 frames of animation, one where his leg goes forward, one where it goes real far forward, and then when it comes back again, to give the illusion of him running very fast. I mean, these were amazing graphics at the time, and you see the full use of it here.
Think before this, there wasn't even... You could barely tell the person had legs.
Yeah, so they were definitely distinct. He's got that little dot there. That's his head, I assume.
Yeah, and you can tell they changed the colors to make his clothing look different. And that's why they call it Pitfall.
And you have fallen into the pit. So, we'll start off here again. And, of course, with these games, there were no saves. There were really no advancing. You had to play through them in one sitting. And that's, of course, the challenge of it, is trying to get through everything.
And we still weren't to the point where games were getting endings yet. I mean, it was getting close to that point, but there still wasn't the need for it. It was just always about the score or the time.
That's where something like this came along and was different, because it was for the home market, so they couldn't, there really wasn't the need to just keep it going forever the way that there was for arcade games, because, that's basically their idea, keep you playing it till the end of eternity. If you never have an ending,
Yeah, what's the point?
You never can give up. So with the home games, they were finally starting to be able to have things designed that could end and do different things. And the Intellivision is definitely a home system. We don't see much of the arcade fare that we saw on the Atari and later on the Coleco.
Yeah, they made a lot of original projects for this with their in-house development teams, and innovation was one of the biggest things about the Intellivision. Is you saw things that you didn't think the game consoles were even capable of.
Something like this. This is a great title to show off the Intellivision.
Yeah, because even comparing versions, this one wins, hands down, compared to at least the home console versions. I mean, there were some computer versions which looked similar, if not slightly better, but those were running on much more powerful machines as well.
So, here it is. The peak of the 1980s console world, before there was Super Mario Brothers, and before there was much out there in this kind of design, where you ran along a plane, you had a level that you went through. It's not just the same screen over and over again. There are different things on every single screen. A very impressive title for when it was.
Yeah, this game gave birth to one of my favorite genres, the platformer. You didn't have... I don't think there was any game before this where you actually went left to right and jumped.
The games couldn't handle this many different screens. The Atari had trouble with power, and the Intellivision, as we spoke about, not super powerful, but was advanced enough to do these different types of designs. Obviously this game was also on the Atari, but you didn't see much of it, whereas in the Intellivision world we're seeing a lot of games with different screens, different things happening, and big difference.
A lot of details is the main difference here.
Look at that fire.
You can actually tell it's fire. Not just something blinking. So the Intellivision was a pretty nice step up, and
we're of course looking at Pitfall Harry, the hero of this game, and he has fallen into a pit.
So that's a good way to...
You'd think if you were a hero, you wouldn't want to call yourself the thing that you don't want to do. That'd be calling yourself like Bear Maul Johnson. I don't want to get mauled by a bear if I'm shooting bear. So, or boars could also be used in that example. Anything, if you're out on a pitfalling adventure, beware of any creature.
Yeah, they'll all eat you. Because, like that scorpion.
Oh, I thought that was a walking skull. So.
Oh, really?
Whoa, wow, how'd you do that?
That's... wow. Huh?
The trickery, how'd you do that?
Warp zone? Died in the same place. I guess it does kind of loop.
What'd you do? Just go to the left?
One left.
What the heck?
Cheated the game.
I've never tried that. I didn't know you could do it that way.
Is there a definitive end here somewhere? Like,
there has to be something.
Just keep playing, I guess.
I want to see where this goes. You're just gonna
we're following the rabbit
around?
hole.
It's a lot easier going back that way.
That left to right, that's crap.
Yeah.
Pro tip,
been
go
doing
left.
it wrong.
I go with the logs.
We've been doing it wrong all these years.
No one knew. I just discovered the secret. Look, you can run with them. Things are fine in
It
the
makes
jungle.
sense finally. No wonder.
Those guys have been sitting up there laughing the whole time.
It's like, why are these...
went left.
What? These dummies would have gone left instead of right. They would have been fine.
It's because it's how Americans read. We read pages right to left.
I'm gonna try going up and down.
Yes?
Yes?
Pitfall and Stampede by Activision?
Sure.
For Intellivision.
No. Activision doesn't make video games for
Do
Intellivision.
two. Pitfall, that challenging jungle adventure game that dares you to find the treasure. And Stampede, that rope them doggies roundup game.
Negative. Pitfall and Stampede by Activision for...
New Gen Gamers, Duck Wensel.